Hello viewer, this is a step-by-step guide to filling up a visitor visa application, whether it's a tourist visitor, business visitor, family visitor, any visitor for that matter. So I'll walk through the whole application form. To begin with, you open any Chrome browser and type the words apply for a visitor visa UK or UK visitor visa. You click on that, then the first tab that opens up, it should be a gov.uk website, government.uk, United Kingdom. And this is how it will be, www.gov.uk. Apply for standard visitor visa. Click on that. Don't click on any other tabs. There may be some advertisements and all in whichever country you are applying. This video applies to any application filed from anywhere in the world, any country basically. Then you come to this page. On this page you scroll down and you click on apply now, which is the green button. You click on that. Then I'm going to go through, there are application forms in different languages. In this video, I'm going to cover English application and application in English, but the questions exactly remain the same. They are just translated into the local language, whichever language you select. So then you select the language, you click on next. Then you have to select the country where you are applying from. I'm going to do an application from India. Let's say you can type any country, whichever country you are applying from. So let's say you apply from India, you click next. Then as a part of the application, after you submit this online form and make the fees payment, you are required to go to a visa application center, VAC they call it. So whether it's VFS Global is a third party or a TLS, it doesn't matter, whichever is a third party. Their job is just to enroll your biometrics, your fingerprints. They will take your fingerprint and photograph. So it will ask you a question. In India, so for example, in my example, in your country, I have identified you are answering the location where I will provide my biometrics. So there are various appointment centers. You can go to VFS Global UKVI and search for appointment centers, or at the end also you will get all the appointment centers in your country. So after you submit, then you will get the option of selecting whichever appointment center you want to go to. So you have to select yes. The other option, I want to choose a different location. It is less than 1% cases of applications. Usually that does not apply to everyone. It is only in cases where if in your country there is any unrest, for example, Syria, Afghanistan, anywhere, if a person is trying to make an application and there are no visa application centers active, they have to travel to another country, say UAE or something, then in that case there are different provisions. But in this video, I'm going to cover a standard application. I will select I have identified a location. You click next. It will give you all the information about different visitor visas. You scroll down, you can read through this. You click on start now. Then you fill up your email address. You select a password with this combination and then you save and continue. As soon as you save and continue, you will get an email from UK Visas and Immigration. It will look like this. Your visa application has been saved. You click on this visitor visa. This is your link. You have to keep this email saved, or at least this link, where when you click, this opens up. Copy and paste this link somewhere. This is how we usually do. We always save the link. So, and then you resume your old application and then you put the password that you saved. So this is what you will see on our notes also when we do applications for clients, any application for that matter, not just this one. We save the link and the password. I've already created an application. I will go through that. Every question I will address and I will give advice on whatever answers are expected, what are the possible options, etc. So you put the password, whatever you selected, whatever you saved. Then I've already filled up, so hence it is at this stage. But the first stage you will come to is this. You will come question by question. This is the first question you will come to. We may use your email to contact you, so you have to just confirm whether this email belongs to you or someone else. We never use someone else, but if at all, maybe it's your family member and you want to put another email, you can select someone else and then it allows you to put another email address also. So it's not the end of the world, but yeah, it's better to just give one email address. Okay, so that's the first part. Then do you have any other email address? It will keep on asking you if you want to give several email addresses, maybe your work address, your personal email address, that's fine. But the emails will go to all those ones. Say you're working and you may not have access to your personal email, you may put all of them and in real time you'll get all the emails to all these emails. Then that's it. Save and continue. Then the second one, provide a telephone number. You have to provide only include numbers, contest numbers. You have to include country code. For example, for India, +91 is the country code, so we just put 91. If you are in any country, you put the country code and the phone number. Just put a dummy phone number over here. Then where do you use this telephone number? So for use whilst out of the UK, usually you will be outside the UK when you're applying, but then yeah, if that's the same number that you are using in the UK also, you can select both, doesn't matter. Mainly, most of the cases it will be for use outside UK. Select whether this is your home mobile or telephone, and then you select it. You can give other numbers also. It is always better to give one number, or if you have issues with one number, maybe you can add additional numbers and then put them. That's not something that's going to lead to a refusal of the application. It's just for communication purposes. You can keep on adding another phone number. So, and then you select, okay, business telephone number, fill up the same way for use outside UK and continue. So that's all about phone numbers. Let's continue. And so you can use, I think, 3 types of phone numbers: mobile telephone, home phone, office phone, or something. This all for contact. Just usually give one phone, one email. That is the best practice, but you can give many. That doesn't matter. Are you able to be contacted by telephone? Then usually everyone selects that is by default, because they are going to call you. Usually they don't call you. I'm not seeing for visitor applications they calling applicants. Usually a text message or something is sent if you do take the text messaging service when you go for the appointment and all. But usually the email is the important one. They will definitely email all the updates to you, whether the application is being considered, if they have anything else that they want, anything and everything. So email is the best thing, but definitely give them alternate options of calling you, text message. So you can say contacting you by telephone. So the number you give, what is that we can use it for? That's what they're asking. Are you able to be contacted by telephone? I can be contacted by telephone and text message. I can only be contacted by telephone, so you can only use a phone call. Let's say in some countries that is the case. Only be contacted by text message. Let's say you're working, you only want messages, cannot be contacted. So usually you can also select that, doesn't matter. Then you save. Let's continue. Given name. So whatever is, this is the name as per your passport. So in the, usually on all the passports that I've seen in the world for all applicants, there is a given name, first name plus middle name. That is the given name. That's always the case. Given name is usually the first name. If you have middle names also, you can write that John Smith or John X Smith, whatever that is, and that is your last name. Copy exactly as per your passport, and you save and continue. Then you say go to the next one. Also important, there will also be questions if you have had any other names. So as soon as you fill this, you save this, enter the name as on your passport or travel document, you save this one. Then if you have any other names, you have to keep on adding that. For example, if you have ever used any other names, say married name, after marriage many individuals names change, put the, so the current name has to be, so John Smith, for example, in my example over here, is the current name as per the passport. In the past, if you had any other name, say maiden name and combination, you select add another name over here. Then you select enter your name in the same order. You don't have to give any evidence of this. I have been asked many times in consultations and by clients whether I should give evidence. You only need your current passport and the current name in the first column. All other names are just for them to connect. If let's say you are submitting some other documents which has your maiden name, let's say your degree certificate or anything that you put up that was before marriage, or any other reason there was a name change. Sometimes surnames are added, some surnames are removed, many things happen with names. So it's just to connect that all the names are of the same person. That's the main reason. You can keep on adding as many names as you want to. So add another name, and then once you fill that, it will allow you to add another name. So let's say add another name. Yeah, given name, family name, that's what it says. Let me just add Mr. B. I. Bill. Let's say this person had another name before, for whatever reason, Bill Jones. Let's say this is the other name. I continue. So you will see John Smith, other names, and then you can keep on adding as many names as you want. Then what is your sex as on your passport, male or sex? You select that, male, female, unspecified. So that is the option. If it is not specified, you have to copy exactly what is in your passport. It is usually MF. If it is unspecified, yeah, so you can do that. What is your relationship status? So married or civil partner. So if you have an unmarried partner, civil partner, then you are single, you are never married. Unmarried partner, this is option. Civil partner is where your civil partnership is registered. Divorced or civil partnership dissolved, so that is opposite of marriage and civil partners. Separated, widowed or surviving survivor. So let's say married or civil partner, you select whatever is applies. So then you scroll down and then you have to put your address information. Usually that will be address, your country, your postal code. So country, definitely you have to select. You don't have an option to go away with the country. All these fields, the first three fields, this one and this one, these three are, you can fill in any, it's quite open text, it doesn't restrict you to any specific names or anything. Town, city, I put Mumbai over here. You can put any city that you are living in. This is an optional field. You can either fill it or not fill it. I can just delete it also. The application should take it without that. Postal code, some countries, some cities may not have postcodes. It says if applicable. I think you can do even without that, or you can put whatever the postcode is. Let me try that. And is this address also your correspondence address? So if you said you have to select this as yes, I will change it to no and also do that. So let's see, this is the address it has saved. And let's say if I want to change my correspondence address for whatever reason, let's say by the time you get the result, or usually the passport, if you select a courier service and the passport is going to be posted to you, sent to you by courier, you may put another address, no, and then you can add whatever address you want to. Okay, so and then you save it. But usually mostly individuals put the same thing, unless say you are going to move houses, you are applying today, but let's say after 2 weeks or so, within 2 to 3 weeks, this application will be decided. By the time you may be at some other place, so you can put that. It's not going to lead to a refusal. Doesn't matter whether you have one address or two. Correspondence and current is different. So how long have you lived at this address? 23. However long you have lived. What is the ownership status? You can, I think, let us change that. So it is in years, months. Let's say you just moved. Days also you can put, doesn't matter. What is the ownership status of the home? So months, weeks, days. So you may have just moved there 1 day. I have been there 1 week, 10 weeks, months, say 2 months, or 23 years. What is the ownership status? So either if you own it, you rent it, or other can be any family member owns it. Let's say in this example, give more details about your living situation, such as who you live with and who owns the property. My mother owns it and I live with my family, which includes, I'm just typing an example over here, my mother, father, sister and brother. So it can be anything. Yeah, so whatever that is, you continue with that, you save, and I scroll and continue. Passport number, copy exactly these details as per your passport. So passport number, which should be on your issuing authority. So usually these are the fields: country of issue, maybe one of the fields that you can copy, or place of issue. So in a passport, you can copy exactly from your passport what it says in this field. Place of issue is usually I've seen, or country of issue. And it is all as per your passport. So if you are whatever a citizen of some other country, you're applying your wherever the passport is issued, ignore what your country's passport is. This answer is usually on the passport. I've always seen that, where it is issued, or country of issue. Issue date and expiry date, you fill it up as per your passport, you save it, continue. Let's say personal information. Do you have valid national identity card? This is an optional information. The identity cards were usually relevant for European nationals. If you're a European national, you have a EU ID card, European identity card. They were in the past used for traveling to the UK. So that is the reason this question still stays on the application for some reason. But yeah, if you don't have it or if you don't put it, doesn't matter. You can just say I don't have a national ID card. If you have an ID card, you can fill it up. It is exactly the same way. You'll put the number, issue date, expiry date, etc. If you put it, ID card number, issuing authority, expiry date, issue date, something like that, and that's it. So ID card is not that relevant. You can do away with that. Okay. Passport is done. Personal information. Do you have one? Okay. Country of nationality, India. Birthplace, whatever it is, all this should be in your passport. Date, place of birth, date of birth. Then, do you currently hold or have any other nationality? If you already hold it, or in the you currently hold, have you ever held? So in the past also, if you have held any other nationality, then you may have to fill it up, yes, and continue, and then fill it up accordingly. Country of nationality, date held from, to I still hold this nationality. Or if you don't hold that nationality anymore, you don't check this box and then save. So select this as no and continue. Okay. Then the next question is, what is your employment status? So let's see many options. I'll just cover employment first. Let us do this one. Save. And then I will talk about other options also. There may be different situations. You may be, if you are employed, if you are salaried employed, you're working for any company, organization, date you started working, you put the date. Usually it is, and then you put the employer's details, employer's name, ABC Limited, address in the same way in your home country as you write it, the three fields, town and city, exactly the way you put your address, put your employer's address. Country is required. Employer's contact telephone number, so it can be a manager, it can be your HR. If it's a small business, maybe the owner of the business. Date you started working for this employer, whichever, you can put the month and year. It can be approximate if you don't remember exactly. So tentatively January 2022, let's say. Then you click on continue. So this is about employment. I will change the employment situation to something else. Let's say if you are self-employed, so what will happen? What is your job? The same way, how much do you earn? It will be in your local currency. I selected it applying from India, it's why it's giving in Indian rupees. If you apply from whichever country, it will give. If you're doing from US dollars. If you, I know US is a non-visa national, but still there are situations where you may have to apply from the US also. So you are applying from Japan or China, the local currency will come up over here. How much do you earn from this job each year? You just fill that up over here and then save it. That's what will happen. So this is the first employer case. I filled up all the details. You save and continue. Then it is asking for the self-employment, and then for the previous job it will ask you further questions. The employed one, which I filled, accounts manager, let's say that is my title. Then INR, it will be in the local currency. It's better to put, in the past there was no local currency option, there was conversion required, but it's good the form has been changed now. And then you describe what job you are doing. So in this case, we have said I do manage the accounting department and 3 other associates report to me. Just a brief description, up to 250 characters. So just write down briefly what you do, just to help the caseworker to understand your case. Okay. So self-employed, you got that option. Let's say you are a student, it will ask you about your student information. Oh no, student information is not asked. Very good. That is very good. Let's say employed, and so this is how it will show. If you are employed and self-employed, it will say employed, self-employed. If you are just a student, it will show a student. Whatever you select, you can select all of them. I don't think retired and employed will be, but then most combinations, if you are doing both, you are employed and student, employed and self-employed, student and self-employed, whatever is possible in your case, you have to select that. Let's say you are retired. So if I select retired, you can take off the employed one. Yeah. It's not asking you much. Only if you select employed or self-employed, it asks employer's details or your job details. Other than that, it is not asking for any other, even if you're unemployed. So in the form, it doesn't match up. But if you are employed or self-employed, you have to give some information about your employment and self-employment, job, how much you earn, etc. And that's it. But remember, whatever you write here, you have to give evidence for that. For example, I'll come to employment. So it is advisable to put at least last 3 months of pay slips for your employment to show proof, corresponding bank statement showing the payment of salaries into your bank account, and a letter from employer that after you come back from your holiday, So there will be further questions over here. Let's say date you plan to arrive 20th July, date you want to leave. So let's say you 20th August you leave, on 22nd of August you'll be joining your work again. So it is always advisable to get a letter from your employer stating so Mr. John Smith will be on holiday and he will be starting work from 22nd of August 2024, something to that effect. You can put further details, how long the holiday is, or he'll be visiting the UK. Not required. Mainly, you will be resuming employment. That's what they care about. The main question that they are trying to address is you will leave the UK at the end of your stay. That is the main thing. So usually get that from your employer. For self-employment, also put any evidence that you have about your finances, bank statements, invoices, your registration of business, your tax returns. Self-employment, they are very strict on this. You need it because they always look at the rules in a way how they apply in the UK. Anyone who is self-employed will have taxes filed, bank account, etc. So you have to give proof of your self-employment income, your bank statements at least for 6 months, your self-employment at least for 1 year, maybe more than that, maybe 2 or 3 years of tax returns filed, paid. A lot of documents are required. Usually consult an immigration advisor if your situation is of a self-employed person. Usually I've seen in many countries applications are refused because people write all the answers over here. I'm earning this much, I'm self-employed or I'm employed, but they don't give any evidence. So they want to see money coming into your bank account. They want to see taxes being paid in self-employed cases. They want to see registration of your business, anything and everything that you can prove to show that you are genuinely self-employed. So usually, yeah, take the advice of immigration advisors. We also advise, or any other immigration lawyer. Then you fill this up, your employment information, income and expenditure. This is also other area where I've seen refusals. Do you have any other income or savings? So you already stated what your income is, let's say 50,000 Indian rupees as an accounts manager or whatever your self-employment is. And do you have any other income? You can add any other income, let's say other regular additional income. For example, you have a rental property. You'll have to give proof of that. You can just state it over here. They are not going to take it. If you just write down numbers over here, you will have to give some evidence, bank statements, rent coming into your account, rental contract with your the tenant, anything and everything that you can prove to show that the regular addition, let's say whatever. You can add a pension if you're receiving, put letter of the pension to prove from whatever government department you have. Usually if you are an adult relative coming to visit your family member, you can put the pension documents, allowance or regular money from your family. So if any family members are supporting you from your home country or someone who is in the UK, put evidence of that, bank statements, a letter from them. Investments, let's say you have old shares and you're getting dividends. I'm taking the simplest of investments. There will be many complex investments that you may have, but put the proof of that, portfolio, accounts, etc., whatever you have. Any other income that you may have, you put the amount, total amount of regular additional income that you get in a year. So in the whole year, if you get 10,000 INR per month, in a year you get 120,000, you write INR 120, let's say that, and let's say it is an investment income. Let's say you have savings, you have to write GBP, savings it's not allowing. So say you have 100,000 of Indian rupees, that comes to about 1,000 in GBP. So this is the savings. Show whatever money you have. Financial ties are the most important ones. For this, many applications are refused. Anything that you have that is in tangible money form, regular income, savings, you have to show it to them. Or if you don't have any of these, just select I don't have any of other savings income. For the savings also, put your bank statements minimum for 6 months to show that. Don't transfer. So there is another video on the channel. There are several other videos also, especially those 5 pitfalls or something. In that we have discussed that cash deposits in your bank account is a big problem. Many hundreds of applications are refused. Visitor visa applications are refused because people think I need specific amounts in my account. It can be some amount, whatever you read on some blogs or someone tells you, and you put that money or someone transfers. The caseworkers don't like sudden deposits in your account which are unaccounted for, which don't have any reason. Suddenly your bank balance has gone up. they will refuse the application if you don't have an explanation for that. If it is a genuine reason, let's say you sold something, put documents of that showing that I sold this property, that's why this money has come. I sold this FD has liquidated and hence this money has come. Whatever is the reason, or this person has transferred this money. But avoid doing large deposits to your savings or your bank account just before the application. Don't do that. They don't like it. They refuse hundreds of applications for that. I have seen where individuals have done their own applications. Applicants are refused for finances, sudden monies or no monies in the account. Sometimes people will put bank statements and there are no entries. They will say I'm earning a salary but I get in cash. They will not take just what you save. They have to see it in the bank form. The rule is even if you do receive in cash, you are required to deposit. Let's say you are not receiving and you are trying to build up your case. If you give with a blank bank statement or the payment entries are not there, it will not be counted. They will refuse the application saying there is no record of this, whatever you are telling us. The best way is to build up over 6 months or a year. Even if you're getting in cash, either tell your employer to put the money, or if you're self-employed, any income you're showing, it has to be seen in your bank account. So run it through the bank account, ask your employer to pay directly, or your suppliers or whoever it is paying you that income. The rental income people receive in cash, I've seen that. Ask them to pay it into your bank account and show at least for a period of 6 months. That is what I would say. 3 months on a lower end, but if it's a sudden income, definitely 6 months is the best time. Up to 1 year or even 2 years you can show, doesn't matter. So the best practice would be minimum 6 months of proof you should show, and build that up, and after that file an application. Many applications get refused if anything that you are stating over here, any source of income that is not seen in your bank statement, they will not accept that. So if you have a source of income and it is not shown in your bank, it is rather better not to state about it if it is not seen in your bank. Yeah, so, or at least on your tax documents. Let's say you receive in cash and you reported it, you may have to explain it in a covering letter. Preferably take advice on that. It's not very straightforward. They assume that all the monies have to go through bank, but if in your country that is the practice, you take in cash but you still pay taxes on that. I have not seen ever, but if that is the case, put those tax documents and explain everything that you have received such incomes, etc. So very big refusal reason, monies. So in these applications, the main thing that they are looking at is, so this is what the application is going into. They want to see your different ties. First tie is financial ties. Do you have assets, money, property, savings, income? That there are reasons. That is one of the reasons you will go back. They want many reasons. The major reason is money. That's what they look at, financial ties. Hence they are talking of income, expenditure. Then whatever you put up, investments, total regular income. Okay, this one, how much do you, so let's say we change this, so you accept, put all of this, everything will be showing up over there. You fill this up. How much money are you personally planning to spend on your visit? This is what the question will be. You should answer in your local currency, that is fine. Enter how much money you personally, enter the total amount of money that you intend to spend on your visit to the UK. So in my example, the applicant is visiting for a month. How much are you going to spend? Estimate the amount, include flights, accommodation, everyday expenses. If someone else is paying for all a part of your visit to the UK, you will be asked to provide details of this later on the application. So if you are paying, you answer this here. If someone else is paying, then we go forward and there will be questions for that. So let's say I'm going to spend INR this much. At least this much money should be in your bank account. Remember that. So what is the total amount of money you spend each month? Then they are trying to do the numbers, how much money you earn, how much you are saying that I'm going to spend, how much do you usually spend. So that these are the numbers they're trying to see, because people write anything over there and applications are refused. I've seen hundreds of application refusals where individuals file it themselves and they have got a refusal, and they clearly say, oh, you earn this much and you are saying you will spend this much. The numbers don't match up. Okay, what is the total amount of money you spend each month? So whatever it is on living cost, money to giving to dependents. Let's say you give someone, you pay rent or mortgage or housing loan, whatever you call it in your country, any other bills or costs, electricity, utility. So just put whatever the amount is in your own currency. Then so that's it. So you've given all these numbers. If you are not paying any bills, someone else is paying, you can write 0 to that also. That is the case. If you don't have an income, you can write zero, but financial ties is quite important. You will have to have something of this. It's very rare that you don't have anything and an application will be positively decided, but whatever you have, you do write down there. Your planned travel of information, date you plan to arrive in the UK, whatever date, you fill it up over here, day, month, year, in this format. So I'm assuming you're coming for 1 month. You can put up to 6 months. You cannot put beyond 6 months. So the maximum should be, if it is 20th of July 2024, the maximum I can go is 19th of July, 7 plus 6, 13. So 19th of January. So that is the maximum that I can ask the visa for. Even if you're applying for a 2-year visitor visa, 5-year visitor visa, or 10-year visitor visa, it doesn't matter. Or you are just applying for a 6-month visitor visa. Date you plan to arrive and date you plan to return has to be within 6 months. This is the maximum. Don't use maximum. It's not good practice if you're doing a visitor visa, you are visiting a family member. Usually on average 2 to 3 months is okay. That's what they understand. But if there are some exceptional reasons why you're coming, let's say someone has delivered a baby, your family member, and you're trying to help out, yes, maybe up to 4 or 5 months would be fine, but don't go up to the extremes. It's quite a rare situation I have seen. But yeah, as per the rules, you can put it till up to 6 months of maximum. That is fine. We may have to talk to you about, so if they want to interview you for your application, usually I've very rarely seen applications for a visitor visa nowadays. But yeah, it's maybe 2% of the cases, or 1%, I would say, even less than 1% of applications may get interviewed. They will decide on the applications documents only. That's why I'm strongly suggesting that you put up all your financial documents and show them all the money that you have, all the income sources you have, for them to believe you that you will be going back out of the UK. Yeah, don't make unnecessary transfers in your account. We have to talk to you about your application. Which language would you prefer? You select, or you can select other, and let's say you want to speak in Hindi or whatever is your local language, you select that, and they will try and have a translator whenever they are interviewing you. So as I said, less than 1% chances, maybe 0.5% chances in 100, or even less than that. I've not heard interviews for quite a long time for visitor visa applications. What is the main reason for your visit to the UK? Tourism. You can select. This is where your main reason comes into play. That's why I said this. The application remains the same, whether you are a tourist visitor, you're a business visitor, you're visiting a family member, you are an academic visitor teaching, you are marriage or civil partnership visitor, which means you are coming here to give notice of marriage, or coming to the UK to get married. So, or you are coming here for a private medical treatment. This is also common. Yeah, or organ donation. You are coming for a short-term study. This is a very small area, up to 6 months, including recreational course. So yeah, or I am visiting for other reason. It may be, yeah, if you are, let's say you are including visiting family and friends comes in this. So these are all the possible reasons. If there are any other reasons, then you can also write that. So make sure you look at the rules of whichever visit you're applying. Let's say if you're applying for a business visitor visa, you will need the letter from your employer. As I said, definitely for business visitor, you will need that. They should also state the applicant is going to visit the UK from 20th July or 24 to 20th of August 2024. They will be doing these things. They will be attending meetings, doing this, having a conference call, and this, whatever they are going to do, we definitely give the whole itinerary. Put the address. If you have the hotel address or wherever they are living, definitely put that. If not, give a tentative address that they will be staying around the office. If you have the office address somewhere, wherever they will be living, and we will be covering that. The employer outside UK is going to cover all the expenses of their travel, their flights and all. Preferably, usually companies do that. All the companies do that if the person is an employee and is being sent for business purposes, either meetings, interviews, etc. Whatever they are doing, they are coming for a show, they are coming to meet clients, anything and everything. So business visitor visa covers that. Transit to the UK is just to change flights. You come into the UK and then you wait on the airport for some time, board another flight and go to another country. Academic visit, if you're coming for teaching, exchange, give whatever proof you have. Visiting as a dependent of an academic visitor. Yeah, if you are the dependent of an academic visitor, then definitely put that also. Proof that the academic visitor has applied and proof that they do qualify for this. By the civil partnership, any proof you have of the relationship, or if you already given notice of marriage, prove that, showing that I am coming to get married. Medical treatment, letter from the hospital, the doctor, whoever is going to treat you, detailing all the reasons, all the period, the cost, the proof of the cost that you will be incurring, everything you have to give. Short-term study also, letter from that education institution, finances to show the fees paid, your enough money for you to support yourself, all of that will have to be shown. So make sure all these documents are there. Speak to an immigration lawyer if you're not sure what are the documents and eligibility requirements. But yeah, this video is mainly about form filling, so you should meet the whatever the requirements are of your particular visa, and you select accordingly. What is the main reason, and then it will go further. You can say visiting family if you have family members, visiting friends if you select that, and then let's say I change it to business visitor. Let's see what changes. This is where you select, and you get a letter from employer confirming these things also. If you're a business visitor, what is the main reason for your business visit? Attend business meetings, research or fact finding. If it's all, I think you can also select multiple, but mainly whatever mostly you're going to do. If you're going to do 2-3 things, let's say you are doing business training and meetings, training is the more part, then select that one. Whatever is that you are going to do more in that particular visit. So attend lectures, perform at an entertainment event, perform at a sporting event, religious activity, secure funding to start, take over or run a business. Okay, a letter from the relevant authority confirming. So if you're coming for a P-lab test, yeah, recently I did an application. So doctors and dentists and all, they come to give a P-lab test. I think they happen in April and July or something. You need a letter from the GMC, General Medical Council. For OSCE, a letter from the Nursing and Midwifery Council. So OSCE is for to become a nurse, and P-lab is for to become a doctor, I think. So that's how it works. Take professional linguistic assessment test. That is the P-lab one it's talking of. Provide confirmation of your offer to take up this post that you have not previously taken up this activity in the UK. So these are the things. Other options: paid, permitted paid engagements, clinical attachments, any other options, anything else that what business will you be doing. If nothing falls in these options, then define whatever you will be doing up to maximum 500 characters. So that is what you do if you are coming for a business visit. Transit through the UK to go through UK border control and leave the UK within 48 hours. That's what you usually do. To change flights in the UK within 24 hours without going through UK border. So yeah, or to start work on a ship or an aircraft. So you are landing and then you are starting work on an aircraft or a ship. Then academic visit, same thing: research, teaching, clinical practice, formal exchange, collaborate on an internship project. Dependent, if you are a dependent of an academic visitor. So whatever is the reason, make sure you detail that properly. Give any evidence about your future spouse. Tell us, use your passport to answer. So if you're going to go get married, make sure you put that. This is more of a marriage visitor visa. So you fill up this and then you continue. Private medical treatment, organ donation. So name of the hospital or clinic. Get a letter from your doctor, UK hospital, as I said, or clinic, where you plan to be treated. Condition, costs, duration of the treatment, details of where the treatment, with the hospital address, where you will go for the treatment, name, address, everything you fill up. Let's say if you are doing a short-term study, let's continue. Are you enrolled or accepted on a UK course? Because the course approved by professional body. So usually that will be an yes, and you'll have to fill up further details. Institution's name. This should be on the letter that you get from the institution, the college, educational body. Course name, whatever. I'm coming for an English language test, English language course. Qualification you will get, certificate in English course, whatever that is. That should be in the letter from that board, that educational institution. Course start date, course end date. Up to 6 months. So remember, the course start date and date should be within 6 months, up to a maximum 6 months. Other is something you have to just, it's open. You just have to answer and give details. Okay, let's take another question. Going further, So in my case, I took tourism, including visiting family and friends. Continue. Then tourist. Okay. Visiting family. If you'll be living with the family. If you're coming by yourself, you don't have any family, and you're not going to live with the family. And if you're going to live with the family, etc., visiting family. If you are living with friends, this happens when you are boyfriends, girlfriends visiting each other. One is a British person or settled person in the UK, other one coming in. You can select this. If you're not yet married, if you're already married or engaged and all, you can say family also. Fiance will come under family or tourist. So let's say you go further. Then you say main purpose of visit. Give details of the main purpose of your visit and anything else you plan to do. So it's an open text you can write down. There's also another link to help you. Yeah, this is the UK for tourism. I don't think this link gives you any other information. Then back, save. So yeah, here. Then you put your spouse details, same way as you filled yours. Enter your partner's passport or travel document if they have one to complete this section. If they don't have, then yeah, you can say that I don't have a passport. I'm pretty sure given name, this name. Yeah, if they don't have a passport, fill up as per their birth certificate or whatever information you have, first name, last name, date of birth, India. Do they currently live with you? Yes or no. Will they be traveling with you? If you say no, then you have to put their current address. Will they be traveling with you to the UK? If yes, their passport number, definitely, obviously they will have a passport then. So their application can be connected and they can see everything together, that all the information matches correctly. Then partner's details is done. Does anyone rely on you for financial support? Include those traveling with you and those who are not. So for example, husband wife is traveling and there are 2 children who are going to live with family members in India in this example, or in your country. Then you will have to fill up all of them. So does anyone rely on you? So this could be children under 18 years of age, over 18 who live with you, let's say they are at uni and all, children who you look after all the time, older relatives who need for accommodation or other support. So if you say yes, then you'll have to fill up their details. What is their relationship to you? Use a dependent's passport if they have one, or put the details as per their any other ID card or their birth certificate. Given name, family name, date of birth. Does this person currently live with you? Remember, if you put any dependents, you should always put some evidence to show who is going to take care of them. They have refused applications, I know that, where let's say you have 2 children who are 10 years old and 12 years old, and they don't have any information about who they will live with. Is this person traveling with you? No, currently live with you. So you'll have to give some evidence to show they are going to live with a family member or someone, and to that effect, maybe write a covering letter, give any evidence of relatives. Let's say if they are going to stay with someone else, the family, put the identity documents of those people, passports or any other local identity documents, driving license, etc., and write a covering letter explaining that those dependents will be living with those family members for that 1 month, in my example, that you will be in the UK. If you don't have any dependents, then you just write it as no. Include both those traveling with you. So let's say you are the one, you are traveling, your wife is also traveling with you, and so write the name of that person also if she is a dependent on you. What is this person's relationship to you? So this is one of the parents' details is required. If you don't remember, there should be an option to select give details of 2 parents. So you can give as whatever is, what if I do not know, you can select I do not have my parents' details. So if you don't remember for whatever reason, you don't have the details, you can select this and continue the application. It's not going to hurt the application. It is just Home Office in the system, they are creating a link. This is kind of a data protection thing or identity fraud purposes. So tomorrow if someone else tries to apply and let's say they are interviewed, they should have the same parents' names and all of that. So no one tries to, for example, if they are interviewing, say someone else files an application after 1 year, 2 year, or any time, who steals your documents and tries to do an application, These are all the questions that are built up into the Home Office system, into the UK government system, by which if they have any doubt, they can interview the person, try to ask the questions of who is your mother, who is your father, give their details. So that is the reason why all these details are taken. They don't care what is the name of your parents. The main reason is to create a web chain, a chain of all these connections with what is your spouse's name, what is your previous spouse's name, what is your parents' name, what is your child's name. The system is creating a whole channel of links. So tomorrow, if anyone is trying to abuse the system, trying to use your details, documents, anything, they can be caught by doing a simple interview or trying to match the information. Yeah, so that is possible. So mother's details, whatever, date of birth, country of nationality, father's details. If you don't have, you can just say no. Do you have any family in the UK? That this, whether you give the parents information or not, it's not going to affect the application. Yeah. So even if you say no, I don't have it, or you don't want to give it for whatever reason, I don't think Home Office can refuse an application for that. It's I don't remember, so I don't remember. So do you have any family in the UK? Whatever that is, please specify that. Many times I've seen boyfriends, girlfriends, fiancés, people planning to apply for a spouse visa in future or whatever that is. If you say a no, it's slightly, you are just lying to the system. If you don't, if say you have a family member, let's say you have a girlfriend, so at least give some information, whatever you can. This is, for example, this includes immediate family such as spouse, civil partner, parents, children, brothers, sisters, grandparents, grandchildren, spouse, civil partner's family, your child spouse, your partner if you have lived with them for 2 out of the last 3 years. So usually a serious relationship, I don't think boyfriend girlfriend matters over here, but mainly if you have a spouse or unmarried partner who has lived together, so you would be considered as unmarried partners. Let's say at least for 2 years you have lived with together anywhere in the world. So do give all the facts correctly. That is what my suggestion is. So, or you can say no if you don't have any family members. Will you be traveling to the UK as part of an organized group? This is mainly for China, as far as I remember. This include travel companies or sports or work study groups. So usually there are tourist companies who bring, say, a set of 10 people together or 25 people. Yeah, you just answer that a yes, put the company's group name, and that's it. So it just helps them to assess all the applications together. Sometimes these tourist groups, travel agents and all, they file all the applications together. It helps them to assess all these applications in a better way. So just continue. Then will you be traveling? Okay. Will you be traveling to the UK with someone who is not your partner or spouse? Yeah. So if it is a yes, traveling with more than one person, you will need to list one name. So let's say you are coming with two other friends. So put one of the friends' name, and then you will only need to list one name. So just put one of your friends' name in the relationship. It can be parent, fiance, daughter, friend, work colleague. So let's say three of you are work together, three of your friends, or employer-employee both are coming, or other, whatever that is. Then the next question is with someone else. Okay, do you have an address for where you are going to stay? You can also say no to this. I don't think it matters much. So, but yeah, let me go with the yes first and explain the yes part. So put the address. So let's say if you book the hotel, put the hotel address where you're planning to stay. So just say friend, if you're staying with friends. Other relatives, you can write my daughter, my sister, my son, in another person's home. Give the persons, make sure you get a letter from the person who is sponsoring you also, whether it's a relative or not, stating that you will be staying with them at this particular address. Get a council tax bill and tenancy agreement if they're renting it. Get a council tax bill and ownership documents, land registry copy to show they are the owners. And their identity document, UK passport, or whatever ID documents they have. If they have a visa, BRP card, and a passport copy. Yeah, usually at least a passport copy, a driving license. Yeah, usually enter the address. This is where I will be living. When will you arrive? Whatever periods you are going to stay. So you have an address, yes. save. Let me just say yes and then continue. So you put date I plan to arrive, date I plan to leave. You can also add another address at another place. Let's say you are going to stay for a month, but for the first 10 days you're going to stay at that address. For the next 10 days you're going to stay in a hotel. So you put that, and then you can keep on adding further details as you want. So continue. Here you can add as many addresses as you will be staying at, whatever you are aware of. And let's say if I change it to no, you should be able to file, do you have an address where you'll be going to stay? Address, we're going to select no, and on the next page give details of what you intend to do. So you have to write down, give as much detail as possible. For example, in a hotel, private housing with friends, so write down I'll be living in a private housing, however I don't have the details yet. Or in a hotel but I have not booked a hotel, give as much information. You are not required to book anything before you get the visa. The law says ideally they recommend don't book anything unless the visa is approved, because you will end up paying for the flights, hotels and all. You may not get a visa, so be mindful of that thing. So it is better not to book anything. You can give details here, that should be fine. It will not hurt your case if you say no, I don't have an address. So whatever, I will book a hotel after my visa is approved. Okay, you can say this. I don't think that is wrong. So travel history. So in the past, have you been to the UK in the past 10 years? This is where they're trying to assess, if you have any past immigration history with UK, what is that? Was it a good history? So that's where, so if you already traveled, you may have to put up yes, how many times have you traveled. If you're unsure of exact number, provide an estimation. So maybe you traveled 25 times, you can just put latest 3. You will be asked to provide details of up to 3 of your most recent trips. So let's say you just remember, whatever you remember, you put that as per the latest one. It doesn't have to be exactly, they are saying most recent 3 trips. You can look at the stamps in your passport or something, give them an approximate date. So let's say if you're unsure of the exact number, you can just say okay, I went 5 times, whatever you approximately remember. The form will ask you for questions, your most recent time. So I came as a tourist, or I was on a study visa before. Whatever you select, you answer the date you arrived, how long were you there in the UK. I was a student and I was here, whatever. If you came as a tourist also, I came in January of this year, let's say January of 2021. I came for so if you came as a tourist only, I came for 3 months, let's say, and then you fill it up accordingly. Whatever applies to you, you save it. So they will ask for 3 visits. If you don't have 3 visits, even if the form is asking you, don't worry about it. You can put the same visit again and again. So let's say I only visited one, and the form sometimes acts weird, but usually the form should revert back to the correct answer. So since I put first, let's say I put only one. If I put only one visit, usually the form should allow me to say 1 and then change it, say 3 months. Have you ever been given? So it is going back to the next question. So how much of visits you remember, you do it. It's not going to break your application completely. Let's say you don't remember, try to give at least 1 trip, or maybe up to 3 trips if you can. You may have visited any number of times. So it is good practice to give that if you have the facts, or if you don't remember anything, yeah, at least give a tentative one for 1 visit. And in a covering letter, give, let's say you have 25 trips, you can give an Excel sheet or a spreadsheet and give them all the trip information. I don't think all the information can be filled up here. You can attach that also. You can fill up here as much as possible. I think it only takes 3 trips. Even if you say I have visited 25 times, it will only allow you to fill 3 trips, and that is more than enough. You don't have to give them all the 25 trips, but I know many clients will ask me, should I give everything? If you have records and you really want to give it, you can give all of it. But I think what they care is up to maximum of 3 trips, most recent ones. The most recent maybe even before 5 years, doesn't matter. Then it will ask you questions about medical treatment. So this is going through all the immigration rules. Do you have any medical dues to the UK? So in the UK, you have National Health Service. People use that, and then many times visitors come, they use it, they don't pay the bills. So usually visitors are required to pay the bills of the NHS, National Health Service. They don't have free access to NHS. So that's why they're asking and going in detail. If you have done that, and there is a limit of 500 to £1,000 that you will check in the immigration rules, where they can reject an application if you have those dues. So I have seen refusals on this also. Elder relatives, they will come, they will access, NHS will generate a bill and they will keep it in their name. It may never have been passed it on, but it may be on the system. When they run through your details, they run it through the whole system of different departments, and then if they find something, they are going to refuse this application. There is some limit. It's not that it's just, if it's a £20 bill, they are going to do it. Yeah, the rules keep on changing. I think it is 500 or so. So but look at the rules and eligibility, 500 or 1000, so one of the two. But if there are any dues, definitely pay them, and then apply for a visa and give proof that yes, I have done this. Legal treatment in the UK. If you don't know, if you have visited, contact that particular NHS hospital, doctor, clinic, and ask them if there is any dues. If you have a relative in the UK, ask them to contact that particular medical setup, hospital, clinic, anything, and get that invoice, a copy of that invoice, and get it paid. I have seen many refusals on this also, where individuals have done it themselves. Let's say if I say yes, were you told to pay for the hospital? They may not have told you there, but sometimes invoice is created and it may not have been sent to you. You may not have got it. It is possible. It happens. This does not include immigration surcharge. So immigration surcharge is for other types of visas that usually people pay, but that doesn't apply here. For visitors, they are clearly asking you, were you told to pay to the hospital or something? So yes, and have you paid the amount in full? So once you pay this, then that is perfectly fine. Let's say if you have not given, just say no and it will go out. And details of previous medical treatment, it will ask you all these questions, which hospital you went to, address. They're trying to check the NHS records and all of that. You cannot lie here. If you lie, they find something, they will refuse the application on deception. You will be given a 10-year ban if you have been given a treatment and you lie on the application saying I'd never had any treatment. So whatever it is, please give them all these details. Accident and emergency, if you went to the A&E, you went to a doctor, a GP or someone, name of the hospital, Google search for it. If you don't have any relatives who cannot find it, find a phone number of the hospital, contact them. When did you start receiving? So which month and year tentatively. When did you stop receiving? You're hospitalized for 1 week. Put the same month, let's say January of 21, January 21, or I am still receiving. Whatever it is, just keep on filling all those details. So they will keep on asking you all these questions. If you have never been taken medical treatment, do you have a UK national insurance number? If you at least had some other type of visa other than a visitor visa, you would have an NI number. It's called as NI number. So you can just say no or yes and fill up the number. It will come to this. This is the format of the number. Just fill up and save and continue. Do you have a driving license? Yes, there is a driving license number. You can write that, or you can say I don't have a driving license. Have you received public funds? Have you received any benefits? Usually if you have been as a visitor, you don't have access to public funds, but if you have received anything, usually individuals who are not citizens or settled in the UK will not have access to this. But if you have, for any reason, through anyone else or something, you have received it, answer that accordingly. If you say yes, you will have to answer what type of fund you received, child benefit, housing allowance, all this whole list is there. If you're not sure, it should come in one of these categories. Usually it will be a no in almost 99% cases. Have not received public funds. Have you been issued with a UK visa? So yes, and then you put the date, have issue, place of issue. Let's say it was issued in January of 2021, and what visa was that? They are trying to see if you have any past immigration history and is that good. So if you have a visitor visa, you have higher chances of getting it, but they will always check your current status, your current financial ties back home, that you will go back. Very important. Don't assume that if you got a visa in the past that you will be given. Yeah, I have seen individuals who had visas in the past, but they have been refused on their latest applications. It depends on your current situation. They will assess all your finances accordingly. Leave to remain in the past 10 years. So that's it. So if you just say yes to that, you don't have to answer. It will be on their system. They can check your visa. Have you applied for leave to remain? What is leave to remain? Any application that you file inside the UK. This tourist visitor visa, you will usually file outside UK. But let's say you file to extend this visa. For the, usually extensions are not allowed. There are different videos how you can extend and all. In emergency cases, medical reasons, etc., etc. You can watch those videos on our YouTube channel. But by default, 99% chances you are not allowed to extend visitor visas unless you are hospitalized or anything. That video details all of those things. Have you applied for any applications inside the UK in the past? So you applied for any other visa category or even FLRM, further leave to remain, etc. Yes, if you say yes, you have to month and year, approximate month and year is fine. Was it was approved or refused, you put that accordingly, and that's it. So let's say put it in 2 of 2021 and a refusal, you fill it accordingly and they will find it on their systems. How many times you visited the following places? So they're trying to see if you have gone to any of these ally countries of the UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, USA, Switzerland, or EU, European Union. So if you have gone the same way as you put the UK details, you go in, let's say I went once or 2 to 5 times, it will take up to 3 entries over here also. Then you fill up, I went to Canada, what was the reason? I went as a tourist, whatever is the reason. I went in January of 2023. How long was I visited? I stayed there for 1 month and that's it. So that's how it records. It will take up to 3 visits, I think so. But at least 1 visit is more than enough. They're trying to see, are you a genuine visitor? Have other countries checked you and given a visa? If you have a visa, it acts as a positive. So, and if you have a refusal, that also acts as a negative. So they will be cautiously leaving at it, at your application and trying to see if you are a genuine visitor. Are you going to leave the UK? So if other countries' applications are refused, it does not mean that UK will refuse it. But that is why they are trying to assess, have other countries given you any visas in the past? If they have given, then you are a good candidate. If you came to the UK and returned, you are a good candidate. So these are all giving you plus points. That's what they are trying to, they are making their job much easier. Have you been to the UK, to any other countries in the past 10 years? So other than the UK, so let's say you went anywhere, China, or work or study, let's say you were working in some other country, you fill that accordingly. Let's say you went to United Arab Emirates, UAE for tourism, and then you entered there on 1/1/2020, and then when did you leave this country? 30/1/2020, and then you fill up and then you save. So it's just seeing your world travel history. Have been to any other countries? This way you can fill up as much as possible. You can fill up one and then attach a sheet also. It doesn't matter if it is too much travel. So yeah, then you can do that. If it's just 2-3 of them, up to 3 of them, you can fill it up over here, or even more. You can fill up as much as the form is taking. They keep on changing the capacity of the form. So I know at least 3 they usually take. So, and then now they are coming on the negative side. So all this was positive. Were you given a UK visa? Were you given a visa to any other ally countries, Australia, Canada, USA, EU? Were you given a visa to any other countries other than these that we listed? And then now they are coming travel history. For either UK or any other country, have you ever been refused a visa? So now they are coming on the minus points. Those are all the plus points. If you have been given visa, you returned in time, etc., etc. Were you refused a visa for the UK? This is also common. If you have refused, please do state them accordingly. They have all the UK records. Refuse entry at the border, refuse permission to stay or remain. So remain means if you applied something inside the UK and that was refused. Asylum, deported, removed, required to leave. Anything that has happened, please do state. If I say yes, an application for visa was refused, whatever it was, you put, let's say United Kingdom or any other country it was refused. Please do put it genuinely. Usually ally countries will exchange information with each other. US records definitely will be accessible. Canada and other countries will also be. So don't lie on the applications. If they are not going to refuse an application just because your Canada visa application was refused, or Australia visa application was refused, or US visa was refused, but give them everything correctly. You have an appeal against decision is yet to be heard. So if you have appealed that decision, When did this immigration problem happen? Just give a tentative date and month and year. March of 2019. My visitor visa was. You can copy and paste the refusal reason from your refusal decision, whether UK or other countries. They always give you an email or a letter, or write whatever is the reason for my visa was refused because for insufficient documents. So usually this is what usually UK also refuses. I don't have enough. So caseworker will write in the refusal saying we don't have enough evidence to see that all the income that you have claimed is being genuinely earned or not. We don't have enough proof. So let's say you don't give bank statements or proof of pay slips or letter from employer or anything. So that's how visas are refused. They will explain it at least briefly. If for other countries they don't give details, copy and paste whatever they have given, doesn't matter. Other immigration problem. Do you have any more immigration problems? So you keep on filling up as many refusals you have from other countries. If you have too many refusals, maybe you can say no here and then attach a covering letter and give all your refusals with all those fields. Whatever the fields it is asking you over here, whatever was refused, let's say asylum was refused, country, month and year, give details. So make a sheet of this and answer accordingly. Continue. So now they are going into all the negatives if any applications have been refused by UK or any other country. First they looked at the positive, your travel history, have you traveled? Now do you have visa refusals? Now they are going into that area. So this is filled up. You can keep on adding another over here, add, or you can delete one item also. If you add and you can delete it, it says remove this. So have you ever entered the UK illegally, remained in the UK beyond your permission, the visa was granted, breached conditions of your leave form, example, worked without permission, received public funds when you did not have permission, given false information. This is very, very important. Anything that has happened in the past, visa refused, any false information given, any wrong, anything that comes in this, please answer it very clearly. If they have something on record and you don't report it here, your application will be refused for misleading them, giving false information now in this application, concealing important information, and that will lead to a refusal of this application. Breach the immigration law. At any time have you had any of the following? So criminal conviction, all these things try to give them as clearly as possible. Penalty for driving, arrest, caution in the UK or any other country. So all these things are in the UK. So this one is UK thing, but the visa refusal is any country, any other country, and convictions and other penalties, criminal record, all these things, please state accordingly. Whatever you have, I have a criminal conviction. What was the crime convicted of? Look at the sentencing order or something, put the details, let's say theft or whatever that is. Did you do community service? I did community service. Whatever was the discharge or paid a fine, how long it was for, whatever it is, for 2 weeks, and sentence and all. If your sentence was for 2 years, you only served 1 year, whatever that is, put all those details, date you were sentenced, country in which you were convicted, and then you will have more options. No, I have never had any of these. If you don't have anything, just fill up accordingly. And then after the criminal convictions, it will come to all terrorism related convictions or any actions that you've done. This all terrorism related, war crimes, this humanity, genocide, terrorist activities, all these, it will usually be a no. If you have an yes, definitely you may be refused, most probably, unless there is an explanation. So all these are about terrorist activities. You can select no to that or answer accordingly whatever applies and give the explanation. Is there, and there is this open one. If you think something that you want to disclose, is there any other information about your character or behavior you would like to make us aware of? Anything that you want to complain, you can write that. You just say yes to this, then it will open and you write this, whatever you want to say. Previous employment. So this will be, if you have worked in any of these areas in the in your home country, you need to select that and answer accordingly. Provide further information. Let's say you are in the army of your country, include a job title, rank, etc. This is more for UK national security purposes and all of that. Armed forces, government. If you work for the government offices, you fill up further information, whatever role you worked in, dates of employment, job title, everything. For intelligence services, security organizations, police, private, media organizations, say news reporter, anything that you maybe have worked for, judiciary, working as a judge or magistrate. The details remain the same: job title, role, organization you work for, or dates of employment. So, or I have not worked in any of these jobs. And that brings you to the end of the application. Any extra information that you want to put, anything like if you don't write a separate covering letter, you want to write it over here, this is the area, extra information. If you need to add more information about your application, we're not able to write anywhere else, you write it here. Maximum 1000 characters. You can type free text and then continue. The application is completed. Now I'm going to the next steps. You click on next. So this is the application tab. This is what everything is completed. You can check it once. You can go here and change any answers if you want to. The answers will lock later on. I will tell you the stage when it is. In this case, passport or travel document will be the main thing. Evidence of funds. You are available to travel, bank statements and all. You can either upload the copies or take it to your appointment. These are all your options that you will have. You can read all of this. You will save and continue. Then these are all the legal declarations. You are saying, yes, I understand all of this. I am the applicant aged over 18 or over. I am the applicant under 18. So written consent of the parent or guardian. If you are under 18, you are applying. I'm the parent or legal guardian of the applicant who is underage submitting. So usually parents submitting on behalf of a child will select this. Applicants who are over 18. I am submitting on behalf of someone of the applicant. It may be like a tourist, a travel agent, a lawyer. If we are filing the application, we would write, say travel agent can write their names, or family member. Let's say if it's a travel agent, you write the title, name, address and all of that. Same way, if it's a family member, how are you related to Mr. John Smith? I am the brother of John Smith, whatever that is. Then you continue. Then you have to give your details. Anytime it will come to your details anyways. And let's say other can be anything. A friend is filing, a boyfriend is filing for a girlfriend is filing for anyone. So student, colleagues, basically say I am a colleague. And then you fill up the information. So I am the applicant. As soon as you do that, it's not going to ask you any more questions, and all these things will come in. You have to read all these declarations and confirm. Continue. How long are you applying for the visitor visa? 6 months visitor, 2 year. The length of your this one visit can be a maximum of 6 months, as I stated. You cannot say I want to visit for 2 years, but the visa can be granted for 2 years or 10 years, say 5 years. The fees changes accordingly. 10 years is the most expensive one. And then the fees keeps on changing, so I'm not going to discuss the fees. Usually you would apply for a 6-month visitor visa. So it says here, a visit visa is normally issued for up to 6 months, but some visit visa types offer longer options. Tourist visitor, you can apply 10 year, business visitor, you can apply, but it depends on the facts of your case. So the visit visa lengths you are eligible are listed below. Visa fee will depend on duration of the visa. Your visa fee will depend on the duration of visa you select. So if you select 10 years, that will be the fees. You will pay a higher fees. So this is the cheapest, then it keeps on increasing for the period. Long-term visit visas allow you to make multiple visits to the UK, but you can normally only stay in the UK for up to 6 months at a time. So when you enter, you can only stay up to a maximum of 6 months, with some exceptions for academics and their dependents and people visiting for private medical treatment. So those are two only exceptions where they give the details of their visits in their corresponding letters and proof. Let's say I'm applying for a 6-month visitor visa, then it will give you the fees. It will be in your local currency, INR. So it's giving me 12,441 INR. You chose this based on this. Let's say if I select it for 2 years, it will change the fees accordingly. It changed to this. If I select a 10-year one, it will select change the fees accordingly. That's it. After this, when you save and continue, all the answers will be locked. Remember that. So you will not be able to change the application after this point. So continue to world pay. See, it says here. Once you select continue to world pay, you will not be able to return and edit your application. This is the final stage. As soon as I click here, it will take me to the payment page, and that's it. So this is how you fill up the application form. You continue to world pay, make the payments, and that's it. Then the application is submitted. You'll get a confirmation email to your email that the application is submitted. After that, on this portal only, you will get the option of booking your biometric appointment. You click on the green tab, download your checklist and your application. Everything will be on this page only, and you go to the third party portal, VFS or TLS, book your appointment. You can upload your documents onto their website after you book your appointment usually, and then before your appointment you should upload all your documents. You cannot upload any documents after, or if you have not uploaded or if you missed any documents, you can take your documents to the center. We advise always upload it. That's our best advice. Don't go to the center and then you have to go through a lot of documentation. It's always advisable to upload it yourself. So that's it. So this is the whole video about how you fill up the application form. This applies to all types of visitor applications: business visitor, individual visitor, tourism, family visit, any other visits, visitor visa. It applies to everyone, the whole world basically, except a British citizen. So anyone, even I think in future, if non-visa nationals are also applying, say US citizen, European, if the normal route, if you are refused an application, then for any reason you are required to apply, this is the only process everyone has to follow. And thank you very much.